everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another Before the 90 Days review, y'all. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with Varia and Jeffree. So Varia popped up at Jeffree's house and Mary was inside. Apparently they were enjoying each other's company. Jeffree insists that he has not talked to Varia since he left Russia, so he doesn't know why she just popped up at his house. But he just stands there really not saying much as Varia and Mary argue with one another. And Varia is calling Mary a bitch. What is she doing here? Why is she here? And Mary is like, no, why are you here, bitch? Okay, why are you here? Varia is like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Jeffree. And Jeffree is just sitting up there like just at a loss for words, because you can tell he still has feelings for Varia, and he's surprised that she showed up, and he probably is feeling some type of way that she showed up and she's fighting for him. That's why he's letting her do it. Now, in all honesty, I don't like the fact that he allowed this to happen. If I was Mary, I wouldn't be checking for him ever again. You need to let it go, and you need to never ever try to revisit y'all being in a relationship, because he let you leave, he let you walk away, and then Varia gets to stay at his place for 2 weeks, so you know that she's not coming back, and whatever they had going on is now done. Now this is going to make the situation extremely uncomfortable, because she's one of his friends and all of their friends are friends together. Okay, so this is definitely going to create some issues in his relationship with his friends. Now Varia was standing outside this entire time, so when Mary finally, you know, she came out and Varia's like, what are you doing here, bitch, and you need to leave, and you're still here, and all of this going off. Mary goes back inside to get some flowers and shit that I guess that she had brought to the house, I'm not sure. She takes all that stuff, she gets in the car and she leaves. All right, then Varia's like, so you're not gonna let me come inside? And his son is inside and everything, so his son has been witnessing all of this drama going on. Varia comes inside, they sit down and they talk, and he's just like, I haven't talked to you, and she's like, that's because you haven't been answering me. But how can you hurry up and move on and get into another relationship, and it hasn't even been that long since we broke up? Jeffree is just like, look, you can't be mad at Mary because she's completely innocent in this whole situation, and he tells us that he feels bad about it, but I didn't see him make an effort to not have her leave or to show her to her face that he was not trying to make her feel like shit. He just kind of let her leave, which is going to, you know, make her feel a certain way, regardless to what he tells us, the cameras, or anybody else. Your actions spoke louder than the words you were not speaking while she was out there in front of you. They go and have drinks with his friends, and of course one of his friends is talking to him about how uncomfortable this is, and how, like, you know, how could you do Mary like this? That's our friend, and she is our friend. I don't want to have to feel like I need to choose, but you were supposed to be dating her, and then here you are with Varia. And then Mary shows up. I was like, yes, it's gonna get entertaining. And Varia got the nerve to be like, what is she doing here? It's like, that's that lady friends. What you mean what she doing here? What you doing here? She didn't come from another country all out the blue without telling somebody she was coming. Okay, let's not forget you was sending all of them messages and he was seeing them, but he wasn't letting you know he was seeing them. You could have said, I'm coming to see you, but you didn't. That's because she didn't want to hear him tell her no. She just wanted to pop up and force herself on him the way she did. And now she's staying at his house for 2 weeks. Varia know what she doing. She know what she doing. Now I'm wondering why y'all weren't at the reunion. So y'all, we see Darcy and Stacy go to their brother Michael's grave. Whenever they're going through something in their life, they like to go to his grave and talk to him. He died, I think, when he was in his 20s. He had some type of disease, and they seem to think that he would have saved them from all of their terrible relationships, because he was such a great guy, and he would have said a long time ago that this guy wasn't right for her and that guy wasn't right for her. And I'm just like, you know, I get this, that y'all love y'all brother, and I'm sad for y'all, and I'm glad that y'all keep his memory alive the way that y'all do, but you need to take responsibility for the fact that you keep choosing the same type of asshole guy, Darcy. Your brother wasn't going to be able to save you from choosing bad men. You just like choosing bad men. Let's see who the next fool you bring on this damn show. David and Lana, y'all. Okay. Y'all, Lana is being forced into this situation, and it is so obvious. It is so obvious that them people from the site was like, girl, if you don't get on this show and try to make this shit work with this man, okay, we are going to excommunicate you from the site. all right? And she needed sites to make her money, y'all. So they go for lunch and they talk over the translator app, because obviously after all of these years, David still hasn't learned her language. Whatever. I hate when they do that and they swear up and down they love somebody. No, you don't. If you don't care enough to learn to communicate with them adequately, you don't really love them. I don't care what you're talking about. But he gives her some chocolates, and then the producer asks her how much money has David spent on her over the years, and she doesn't want to answer the question. That must mean it's a lot of money. That must be a lot of money. And then they proceed to make sure that they take photos so that they can use it for her to get the visa. And I'm just like, really? Really? This is not a real relationship. Y'all are just meeting. And he keeps complaining about how she's not being affectionate towards him. That's because she doesn't know you, David. You're a creepy old man that followed her across the world and stalked her until her job made her go on a date with you. Like, that's basically what this situation is, David. That's why she's not all lovey-dovey, because she's not really attracted to you. You have a pregnant belly and a dad haircut. Then he's like hugging her during the interview, which is so awkward and weird. And it's just like, oh my God, y'all, please set Lana free. They asked her why she didn't give David the correct address, and she's like, because I don't think it's safe to give somebody my real address and I've never met them in person. I was like, she sounds smart enough to me. That sounded smart to me. She said she had no idea that he would go around knocking on doors and that it was insane that he did so. I said yes. Yes, it was insane. He tells her that he hired a PI to do some investigating on her, but then that he fired the PI, and she got upset and decided to end their date early. And he got scared that she wasn't going to, you know, get back in contact with him. But later on, he signed on to the site and he was able to talk to her. He says that since he can't adequately communicate with her, it didn't make sense to get her phone number. I said no. She wouldn't give you her fucking phone number. Let's be clear. But she does meet up with him later, and she says that she understands why he got the PI. She made him wait 3 days. She had already flaked out all of those previous times, so she does understand why he got the PI. Then they go walk around and they take more pictures, and then they go bowling. And apparently David used to be a professional bowler in his 20s about 40 years ago. 40. So now they're gonna bowl, and if he gets a strike, then she has to kiss him. I said, he's just as thirsty as he wanna be. At first he wasn't winning, and then he won, and she gave him a little peck on the mouth and, you know, moved him out the way. But you can tell it was not all of that. It was not all of that at all. They both say that they need to spend more time with one another, but at this point Lana is the only one that isn't sure. David is sure that she's the one. So y'all, then we see Stephanie leaving to go back home, and she's sad that Erica didn't come to see her, and she's sad that things worked out the way they did. But her mom and her dogs and her mom's best friend come pick her up from the airport, and she kind of has to talk around what happened, because she doesn't want to tell her mom just yet that the relationship was romantic, but next episode she will. Either way, it's very lonely for her to have, you know, just gone through this, and now she can't even tell her mom the truth about it, because her mom doesn't know that she went out there not to visit a friend, but to visit a possible girlfriend. Also, I would like for Stephanie to take some responsibility for the fact that she perpetrates her personality online. You are not the person you pretend to be, and you need to be honest about that. And stop faking the funk with people, so they'll stop thinking that you're this fun-loving, good time girl, when that's not who you are at all. You're uptight and anal retentive. Share that with everyone. Be real, Steph. Usman and Lisa, y'all. The beginning of every episode with Usman and Lisa is the end of an argument that they started the last episode. Okay, every damn episode is the same thing. She's upset about some woman he was talking to online, and then she gets mad that he hasn't proposed to her yet, even though they're supposed to get married the next day. And I feel like after y'all that went through all of this, we still waiting for a proposal. You didn't ask his mom 11 times to let y'all get married, and we still haven't gotten a proposal yet. That's ass backwards if I've ever heard it. Okay, either way, she's upset, and he tells her I need to feel secure about this relationship before I propose to you. We needed to talk about some things. We needed to get some things figured out before I proposed. And she understood that, and they made up. They kissed and they hugged, and then they go back into their hotel room. He asked her to go into the bathroom to get something. When she comes out, he's on one knee with the ring. He proposes. Of course, she accepts. Later on, they go and spend time with his family in preparation to do the ritual for the wedding. So they have to go and wash their feet in the toilet, which looks, you know, grosser than I'm guessing it really is, because ultimately the toilet does look clean and your feet are walking on the ground all day. I mean, you know, I guess, but it was a ritual. The mama had to wash her feet in the toilet. Then, you know, Lisa had to go behind her and wash her feet in the toilet. Then they had to pray. And then Lisa and Usman go and sit down and talk with Usman's older brothers. And a part of the conversation, Lisa says, I want your real opinion. But it's only because she thought his brothers were going to argue on her behalf. I don't know why she thought that. Why did she think that his brothers were going to say, you know, I don't like the way you treat Lisa. You don't treat her very well. I don't think that that is the case, especially when all of his family and friends have continued to point out that you're trying to control him and that they don't like that. In their country, men are the head of the household. Misogynistic, yes, but a fact. So you trying to run this man is not going to work for him or for his family. So of course they were going to be honest and talk about it. Well, as soon as they started to be honest and real and say they didn't like how they saw that she was controlling him, then she gets upset and doesn't want to have the conversation anymore. So if they were going in on him, it would have been fine though. Lisa, if you don't get your damn life girl is crazy, y'all. This lady is crazy as hell. I don't know what is wrong with her, but she needs to go to therapy like today, okay? She needs to go to therapy right now, because this is just so ridiculous that she thought they were going to be on her side. I mean, just delusional. So what did I say? The end of the episode is her storming away, and next week what's gonna happen? The episode is going to start off with them talking and finishing the second half of the argument that has now started at the end of this episode. Same old same with Lisa and Usman. Ash and Avery, they are having a better ending to their trip than beginning, okay? They spent some time together. They enjoyed each other's company. And we just come to the realization that Ash cannot move to America right now. His son has to be a little older because he needs to be there for his son. And it's not in the son's best interest to move to America and be away from his mother, especially since it seems to be so difficult with this whole visa process. Like, you know, just to bring two people over, it's just too much. And right now, that's not the place they're in their relationship for the boy or for Ash and Avery. So they decide that the best thing for them to do is just to work on him visiting and coming to be a part of her life. You know, the way she came to Australia to be a part of his. And it's going to be a little difficult because it's hard for him to get a passport because he lives in a small island off of Madagascar. And he has to get a visa for Australia in order to travel to America. So yeah, it's gonna be a little difficult for him. It takes time, but that's what the next move is. So he takes her to the airport. They say their sorrowful goodbyes, and he's so sad and he's crying and he's saying goodbye to his best friend. And I'm just like, oh yeah, a woman whose brain is chaotic is your best friend, Ash? Okay. I don't believe him. I think he was putting on. But y'all, whatever. Ed and Rose. Ed just can't believe that it all went down the way it did. He gets home and gets in the car with his mom. He gets licked in the mouth by his dogs. He's so excited to see them. And then he tells his mom everything that happened with Rose and how it didn't work out the way he thought it would. He explains how he kept questioning her about her past and how he told her that he wasn't really interested in having any more children. And you know, that was it. She wasn't happy about that. And he just couldn't see eye to eye. His mom feels as if his expectations were way too high. I feel like you babied the fuck out of him and turned him into an old skis, Mom. So it's partially your fault. He still thinks that there's a chance for him and Rose. I said, boy, if you don't stop. I hope not. I hope there's not another chance. Child, last time I checked, Rose was online spraying his old ass. Okay, and from what I understand, there's some even more disturbing things that Lisa has said about Ed. Basically said that he has groomed other girls, and you know, that he might be a, you know, molester. So that's, you know, I'm worried about that. We're gonna hear about that at the tell-all, I'm sure. So yeah, y'all, that was before the 90 days. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one.